let's do this. Alright, so what do we... Lobby number
TV.
2 window, dissipating the smell.
I was going to say the TV and the missing evidence as well. Is it not possible the killer to escape through the barred windows?
I mean, unless he was fucking Ant-Man.
And yet, Ant-Man could do it. Ant-Man's the murderer, guys. And yet the fragrance of the perfume managed to escape from defendant lobby number 1. Of course, this incorporeal thing to move freely through these open barred windows.
I mean, to be fair, didn't Edgeworth say that an entire floor was incorporeal?
It's true.
So technically, by his logic, therefore, couldn't the entire, like, cargo floor of the second case move through these windows?
That's why. Yeah, that's what I did make that joke last time.
Jesus.
Technically, probable means it doesn't exist, but the gravity does exist.
Right.
I think there's evidence on loud TV might be.
I mean, to be fair, gravity can move through the window, so I guess it's not too stupid.
Is it
Anyway,
a very loud television or open and at windows, or it's missing evidence and loud television? Pick your poison.
I think it's open windows and very loud television.
Oh, it is, yeah. Now, what else behind the smell can go both in and out of an open barred window?
A fart. Wait, that's also a smell.
The answer is sound. And now you're going to hear me go slightly further away because I need to go handle something.
The power of
No matter
sound!
how careful the killer was, if the windows were open, the jig would be up. I'm back. Sorry about that. And since the windows in both defendant lobby number 1 and the hallway are both open, that explains how the sound of a gunshot could be heard in both locations. The missing piece of evidence is a video that shows the moment in which Mr. Rell killed the embassy staff member. The sound of a gunshot left quite an impression on me when we first played during the trial. The video should have been returned to Mr. Faraday's evidence bag for the recess, and brought back here. It disappeared after that time. Then it's possible that the tape is still here in this very room. Eureka! The evidence that the missing evidence created for me.
I mean, basic fucking logic. Lawyer superpower number 3. It's OP, yo.
It's true. It's the gunshot sound that no one should have been able to hear in the first place.
Miles, what have you been thinking about? Stop wasting time seeking and let's start looking again!
It's not a waste of time to think, for I've figured out where we should look.
And where would that be?
I believe you examine the television. It's time to go to Persona 4. It's time to jump through the TV, man.
Iffy?
Oh, I was distracted by something. The TV?
To be fair, like, out of context, outside of the text box, it kind of looks like that Edgeworth is going, let us play video games! On
And
that
TV!
TV!
Bandits is like so fucking ready to kick someone's ass, and Van is like,
Yeah, okay.
he's even try.
Well, get that phone, go ahead and examine whatever you like. Marry this bitch.
The examine TV. Only when Detective Gumshoe touched this. It'd be the most terrible racket.
You mean when Scruffy turns the television on, right?
Actually, come to think of it, I don't think Detective Gumshoe actually touched the television at all. Furthermore, it seemed more like when a video feed suddenly stops, at least it did to me.
I wonder why that is.
It's a video player, and it seemed to be a video tape inside.
Fucking old-ass videotape. It looks like it. The tape must have stopped on its own when it reached the end.
This tape, could it not be the missing surveillance tape? Where in 2012 we're still using VHSs.
I suppose, but... I mean, it's not... Doesn't Phoenix Wright start in 2012? This is a couple of years before that.
I don't remember. Either way, we're still in the year 2000. I'm pretty sure that this could have been invented.
This is 4 years prior, I'm pretty sure. So it's not 2012, it's 2008.
Well, I don't remember when Ace Attorney starts, but yeah. If it's 2008, then this definitely wouldn't have existed, and like, I'm pretty sure VHS would have been discontinued for the most part.
Not discontinued, but you could still use them.
Like, less used.
And in a courthouse where everything is like super archaic for no apparent reason, where they still use old shit. I mean, it wouldn't be unreasonable.
Fair enough. To the bad, would it be alright with you if I verified the contents of this video?
Sure, knock yourself out.
Alright, then let's rewind this and see what we have.
Yeah.
Remember correctly, the footage about killing the ambassadors.
Ambassador.
The ambassador.
Should be about 30-minute mark from the start of the tape.
Understood. This should be about right now. Let's see.
This is the footage of Mr. Lyle shooting the embassy staff member.
I knew it. The missing piece of evidence, the surveillance video, was here all along.
The sound. The meaning of this.
It is Detective Bass figured out the true source of the gunshot he heard. With this, maybe we can figure out the trick behind the double murder.
Do you mean that you figured it all out then?
Yes, all I have to do now is show what the gunshot detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and through where they heard it from.
Oh, fine, in that case, show me what you deduced.
Now show what the gunshot detective Bad heard, and through where they heard it from. So we need to, I guess we need to double deduce.
Window.
So the window...
And then...
the video. If the door and the windows to the crime scene, namely this room, were closed, the killer could have used a gun and no one would have been the wiser.
That's true. This courthouse does seem to be well designed for such a thing, as it were.
However, what happened in reality was... Detective Gumshoe, Detective Bad, and Miss Yu, all three of them heard the gunshot.
Well, the windows in lobby number 1, number 2, and the hallway were open, so naturally the people in those locations could hear it.
Ah, but then why would the criminal open the window in the first place?
To allow the gunshot to be heard, I suppose.
Correct. That's the only logical conclusion we could draw from this.
But why was that necessary in the first place? Oh, come on, Franziska!
Franziska, why...
shit, I know who did it.
Fucking prodigy, and you can't even fucking figure out that this was to throw off the time of death?
Who do you think it is?
I want a real answer, Miles. I demand satisfaction! Okay, do not... You're 13, don't say things like that.
Who do you think it is?
Calm down, Kalin Kessler.
Kalin Kessler, he's the murderer.
She actually fucking looks like Kalin Kessler as well, what the fuck?
Because in the sub, he's always satisfied me, and I need satisfaction.
I need satisfaction.
Franziska, please don't summon an Earthbound Immortal on me. Please calm down.
I summon Earthbound Immortal Kokapakapoo!
Fuck no!
Shit, I have no field spell. Well...
Not even how I'm pissed.
If it was a die, I would die too.
Anyway.
Very well, I believe that the killer wants to manipulate our perception of certain facts. Also, I like how a lot of bad guys from the Syncret era need a field spell to keep their fucking monsters alive.
No, mystical space typhoon, my one weakness.
The killer wants to fabricate the time of death to their precise wishes. And they used a gunshot in the surveillance video to do so. Bang.
So that's why the tape was left running.
You mean the gunshot I heard was from this video?
This also discounts Bad's Gumshoes and Yu's alibis.
Yep. Yes, we did the murders really occurred in an earlier time than we thought. It must have been during the recess, but before Detective Gumshoe was on guard duty. Someone who had no alibi for that time period. And planned this crime out in advance. That person's the real killer. Ding, 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 ding.
Our truth bar has been increased.
Me restored. George.
Mr. Edgeworth.
No. Not again.
Oh, well, if he's not home, can you send him a message?
Sure. What's the message you want to deliver him?
Miss Yu is asking for you. She's in the courtroom.
Me, I thought the message was to Edgeworth.
No, I have pranked you.
Shit.
No, she says she's identified the murderer, but she wants to clarify something.
It looks like Miss Yu is still investigating something.
Understood. Please tell her that I'll be right over.
It's a bad.
Come along. I want to hear what she has to say.
It would appear that the time has come
And so is he.
to uncover the truth.
And so is he.
So have I.
And so have I. And Rob is a weird-ass motherfucker.
Come on. It was low-hanging fruit, I had to do it.
Low-hanging... Well, only those who are weak of mind must grab the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, but nothing hurts me to grab this whole low-hanging fruit, so...
Okay. Yeah, but you're masculine.
Alright.
Right, get the fuck out. You're not here. Kay, what are you doing here?
Oh, hello, mister. I'm still investigating.
The object you're looking for is already...
Okay. Come on, Tim. Please continue with your investigation. Okay, you got it.
Captain Bad, have we already found what you were looking for?
Yeah, but... She needs
Still
to...
seeing the bar up there.
She needs to be away from here.
Yeah.
That means I can keep her in the dark just a little longer. Any little task will do.
Oh, you're more sympathetic than I thought. What? The guy has a mirror, has lollipops stuck in his mouth, helped Kay blow up a balloon. What the fuck, Francisca? How dense are you?
She's 13. Let's go with that.
And she's already studying, like, law in Germany. Come on.
Yeah. She could be dumb.
Cause that bitch is dumb.
I've been waiting for you, Edgeworth.
Why does that sound like the stupid Sonic who goes like, I've been waiting for you,
I'm
Miller.
waiting for you, Miller.
No, stop. Don't make me
sounded
remember
like
that.
That's what your voice sounds like. I was like, oh shit. I just now noticed. You sound like Sonic from
waiting
that
for you,
thing.
Miles.
I've been waiting for you, Miles. I've also been waiting for the moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest.
The moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest? Wasn't that when we placed Detective Gumshoe under arrest? I think we more than solved this case already. Don't you? Well, see, it all depends on whether or not your logic holds.
Was that sorry, I think?
There's something seriously fucking wrong with her.
Oh, I see. We even have a viewer in the gallery, and why even Mr. Bad is here. A viewer in the gallery? I'm hardly just a bystander.
I have a duty to see this case through to the end.
And shoot your ass.
Besides, fuck you, big head.
There's one more
Matter
space. Still
turns out.
There's still enough space for one game of tic-tac-toe.
Before this case ends.
Oh, is that right? Anyway, I thought you might like to hear what I've slaved away to find out. I've taken statements on every single person's movements. During the time when our suspect was in the hallway. I also confirmed that there is no possible route of escape from lobby number 2. Therefore, the killer must be without a doubt be Detective Gumshoe.
And that's all you have?
Yeah, that's all there is to my conclusion, and this case.
Sorry, but I beg to differ. In a trial, there's always time for a rebuttal, and we are standing in the court of law.
Oh shit.
And everyone loves butts. It'd be more than appropriate to follow the rules of court in this case, don't you think?
How absolutely like a rookie to think of such a thing. But alright, I'll play along and give you a proper testimony.
If my logic is correct, then I've already won. So let's just skip the end. Let's just skip to the ending. We've already won. What's the point of playing? All I have to do now is prove it by showing who the real killer is.
Let's do this.
Leroy.
Everyone, sans the suspect, has
Sans?
I knew he was going to interrupt me. Not sans the skeleton, sans the suspect.
I can't believe Sans. I can't believe Sans is the fucking murderer.
I can't believe sans is the suspect.
What does that mean? Is that like a word?
Sans. Okay, so there's two words and they can be used in this context. So sans and ba, they don't really mean anything, but in like they're acceptable. They're acceptable in like a court of law to say like barring this or excluding extra. So you say.
I've never heard the word sans being used like that before.
I sometimes use it, but sometimes I mainly use bar because bar is easier.
Oh yeah,
bar makes sense and makes more sense because it's sort of like you can say a bar is short for barring.
Like bar from entry and shit like that. It makes sense.
Yeah, so
that means like
barring this person.
Sans.
But sans
Never
is
heard
like
the word sans.
Sans is quite commonly used as well.
Sans like it's common. Jesus Christ! All it makes me think of is fucking Undertale, jeez, dude.
And Comic Sans.
And it's in full
That's
lowercase and everything. Everyone, sans the suspect, has an alibi for when the gun went off. Furthermore, the areas around the crime scene have all been thoroughly investigated, right? I also confirm that there is no possible escape route from lobby number 2. Which leaves us with one unshakable conclusion, that Detective Gumshoe is the killer. She's abusing the locked rooms there.
I thought you said that Sans was the suspect.
Sans the suspect. Now that you have your testimony, I expect a good rebuttal, Mr. Edgeworth.
But of course! And I said but, so therefore I win. There's no need to confront her logic head-on right now. I should instead focus on drawing out any trump card she has up her sleeve.
Does the Sans the suspect have a brother called Papyrus?
And does he like spaghetti?
Is he also being trained by a fish lady?
Right.
Crossword
we must
puzzle's
press
really
this-
hard.
We must press this statement.
At the
We must figure out why Sans is the suspect.
What? You want me to press this based on this?
Yeah, exactly, man.
Fine.
He says everyone, man. The suspect. Well, I thought Detective Gumshoe's alibi was already proven, and I thought he was the suspect.
Are you joking, Edgeworth?
I assure you, this is no joke, and are you looking for a bad time?
Look, I know you heard from the judge earlier that the detective was in the hallway with Mr. Faraday's daughter eating a Swiss roll.
Yes, that is correct.
But see, that was 20 minutes before the real gunshot went off, right? And the problem is there's no one else who can corroborate what he did since the snacking.
I see she's done her research well. Which means that I should focus on drawing out whatever trump card she has for holding. We already said this, Edgeworth.
Gumshoe.
Yeah, I got so confused by your stupidity that I almost called you Gumshoe.
Let's see.
Furthermore, the areas around us have all been thoroughly investigated. Okay, press that. I think let's press all of them.
Yeah, this seems like a press every statement thing.
Whether they have been thoroughly investigated or not is for me to decide.
The scrunched eyebrows and lines on your forehead are back. Anyway, if you believe it has, even if you believe it hasn't been exhaustive, the crime scene lobby number 2 has no way out other than the hallway Detective Gumshoe was standing in. And because he claimed to be there, that makes him the only possible suspect.
Now, have I ever told you about something called Gary's Mod? Yeah, just, clip through walls.
Jesus.
But isn't it also possible that someone escaped through the...
Through the what?
No.
You stopped.
Edgeworth, you're dumb. Edgeworth, why are you asking this? There's literal fucking bars on the window, you dumb fuck! And I'm not saying you're dumb. You're dumb shit. But isn't it also possible that someone escaped through the window and into the garden? I can't even bother saying this one voice. This stupid.
That's the first place everyone looked, stupid. The police aren't a bunch of lazy bums. They looked into every possibility, you know.
I'm not silly. My mummy didn't say so.
Isn't that right, Mr. Bad?
Okay.
Yeah.
Bad. Please stop playing tic-tac-toe on border right now. We're trying to do an investigation here.
Sorry, I'm close to winning. It wasn't a
Even
scrap
paying
evidence that someone used one of the windows. Myself.
You paying it yourself?
The only one who can beat me at tic-tac-toe is me.
Okay.
Also, there also weren't any footprints or any in the courtyard garden.
I suppose if we did check everything that could be relevant to the case. I was like, what about the bars? Like giant fucking bars. How do you get through those? Are you absolutely positive that there are no possible routes of escape?
Of course I'm sure.
And why are you so certain?
This is a courthouse, the place where criminals are brought to be judged. If there were an escape route, I'm sure every criminal would be using it to escape. It's just common sense. Miles Edgefuss, I suggest you use a bit more of it in the future.
Ah! Press. You know, you think it's unshakable, but to me there are still too many unanswered questions. For example, who was that placed the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand?
But you're the only one still wondering that. Detective Gumshoe probably had no idea which hand Mr. Faraday used to write with. Even if you know someone, it doesn't mean you'll know which hand they write with, right? I mean, I certainly don't care about that sort of thing.
I don't know about that get a rise out of me with such a flippant statement. I suppose you really reached the end of now. I already have my trump card ready. All that remains is to play it. But before I do, I think I should inquire into a little something about her argument. You said earlier that you confirmed the alibis of every other person except the suspect. However, I don't recall either Francisco or myself speaking with you about the subject.
Ah, but there are witnesses for you. There is your mentor who gave you an alibi.
I see.
As for the little missy, she came to the courthouse during the recess and was stopped by a security guard at the door to the hallway. She gave him quite a whipping for that, or so I heard. I'm the daughter of Manfred von Karma, and I will not be forcibly stopped by a guard or a bailiff or anyone else.
Wait, so basically the only reason Francisco bothered to show up today... Oh, Jesus, what the hell is up with this lag? One second.
What's happening?
There's like random occasional pauses and like freezes, and I'm like, Probably not to do with the video, it might just be the net being a little bit shaky.
Oh.
Well, it's because she found out that I was to be the replacement prosecutor. By the way, monsieur, what about everyone's alibis before Detective Gumshoe was assigned to guard duty?
What about them?
Have you looked into what people were doing during that span of time?
What kind of idiot do you take me for? It doesn't matter when the killer went into lobby number 2. From the time we heard the gunshot, to the time Mr. Bed and I arrived on the scene as we dashed from lobby number 1, the only person who could have committed the crime was Detective Gumshoe.
Yes, let's talk about when you and Detective Bad heard that gunshot, shall we? I suppose that if we go by your logic, then Detective Gumshoe is the only one. However, once the crime had occurred, at an entirely different time than when the gunshot you heard went off. What then? That gunshot was a trap, meant to manipulate our perception when the crime took place.
Sadly, your explanation is very lacking, Edgeworth. The gunshot we heard in Nubby number 1. Care to explain how that could have been fabricated? I guess we present the surveillance tape.
With the clap of your ass cheeks.
That tape.
Yes, exactly what you think it is. It's your trial section, I mean. It's a surveillance tape of Mr. Rell, the prosecution presented in today's trial. That was found loaded in the video player in lobby number 2. That was connected to the large television that had its volume turned all the way up.
You can't honestly mean that the sound we heard was the gunshot in the video.
No, I just told you what it was. It was a clap of your ass cheeks. But anyways. But I do, which leads me to my next point. The murders occurred much earlier than when anyone heard the gunshot. As the makeup applying speeds up.
Iffy.
Think of 2.
After committing double homicide, the killer took the surveillance video out from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag, turned the television volume all the way up, and let the video to play. If played from the beginning, it would take 30 minutes for the gunshot sound to come on. Since we know now that evidence time manipulation is possible, it opens up the possibility that the killer is someone other than Detective Gumshoe.
Objection! Sounds from a television doesn't amount to much here. But of course, Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth and Little Miss Von Karma already knew that much from the very beginning, right? Of course we do! Didn't we, Miles?
Yes, of course, we know about the soundproof quality of the courthouse's rooms. Of course, I'm not about to admit that we had no idea until only just a while ago.
That's right, and if the rooms are soundproof, then we should not have been able to hear it. And yet we heard the gunshot clear as day.
And?
And? That's it, end of story.
But it's not. How should I explain why she was able to hear a gunshot from the soundproof room? The window was open, you bitch. There's actually one common point between lobby number 1 and lobby number 2. And it is, despite the fact that both rooms have air conditioners installed, a window was open in each. Now we know that the window in lobby number 2 was opened by the killer. However, a window in lobby number 1 was also opened.
Objection. It's probably just coincidence that they were both open at the time.
It was no mere coincidence, I assure you. Why was the window open in lobby number 1? The answer to that is a certain person did something to cause the window to be opened. And that person who triggered that action is the real guilty party. The real killer in this double murder is... It was not you.
you!
Apparently it was a Japanese samurai accusing Mr. Callisto Yu.
Do I actually sound like a Japanese samurai?
You sound like someone from Japan, from ancient Japan, feudal Japan.
I go.
Miss Callisto Yu, I hereby formally indict you of the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell.
What? You indict me? Are you serious, Miles? Why do you think she's the killer?
Messed up her lipstick. I don't understand her motive just yet. But of course I'm serious. Because she is the only one who could have done it. Well, Miss Yu, do you still feel like laughing now?
Of course I do, Edgeworth.
How did you get rid of that lipstick smear so quickly?
I'm pretty good at makeup.
Oh, thanks. It's not tight enough yet.
Although I never thought things would spiral into this. But I'll have you know I'm enjoying this dance quite a bit. I guess that means it's time for my own rebuttal now, right? And we'll deal with this next time on Miles Edgeworth. Ace Attorney Investigations.
But we're not dancing.